everyone, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizla here on YouTube, and as promised, I am joined today by
Madison.
This is my girlfriend Madison, and we're going to be telling you guys a story that I got a lot of questions about when I did my Q&A a couple weeks ago. A lot of you guys want to know how long Madison and I have been together, how we met, and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to let her tell her side of the story, and I'll break in as necessary and tell my version. We met in college. I guess it was August of 2014. Yeah.
13.
13? That's crazy. Okay, so we met August of 2013, and you can tell them where we met. Go for it.
So we met in August of 2013 in an oceanography class. So the way it started off was I was just hanging out outside of class and just talking to people, and I saw Shelby. So I see her and I'm like, hey, what's up? I really like your backpack. And she ignores me because she's really into this game that she was playing at the time called, what was it called?
It was Balloons, guys. It's called Balloons without an A. B-L-O-O-N.
So she's playing this game and I try to talk to her. She completely ignores me. I'm sitting around and I'm like, okay, I won't talk to her. She seems kind of crappy, like she just ignored me. I end up basically going to class right behind her, and when I get to class, there's no one else to sit with but her. And it's a lab class. So I'm like, oh no, this girl who just ignored me, now she's my lab partner. Yikes, right? We get into class and I find out that she has a boyfriend, like really quick. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I definitely was going through a really bad time. My relationship before Madison, our breakup took like a year. So I was in the midst of that during this time.
And I was like, okay, cool, so you have a boyfriend. I have a girlfriend, and I guess I should talk about her.
Madison's girlfriend was a pretty shitty girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like worse than my boyfriend.
She was a pretty bad person.
Not worse than my abusive relationship boyfriend. Worse than the boyfriend I had when I met her.
We talked about that, and then, I mean, she gradually kind of opened up. Knowing Shelby, she's like super shy.
I'm not shy. I don't really like people.
She wasn't really that talkative, but I was like, you know what? This is literally what I'm stuck with for the rest of lab. So I have to make it work.
Yeah, so this lab started at like 6 o'clock at night. It went till 8 o'clock at night. So I remember the first day we hung out, we were walking from class to, because I rode the bus to school, and you were going somewhere, I don't know. You invited me to go to Breakaway. Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, yes. I invited her to go to Breakaway because I was at this time in my life where I was just trying so many different things and just trying to make friends, and something really big on our campus was Breakaway, which is like this Christian, how would you explain it? It's like basically church.
Yeah, it's like church. Like they do it at night.
Yeah, like all the students get together and they just have like Christian church, basically.
Yeah, so at this point, I haven't talked about religion on this channel, so we'll go ahead and skip through that. But basically, she invited me and I said, maybe. I was definitely not going to go, no chance. Not only because I don't like church, I'm an introverted person, I just met you, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So she got my number on the first date, and I put my name in my phone as Shelby with a recycle sign, and she took the recycle sign off.
So I have this thing where I really hate people, oh, you put the emojis next to your name, the hearts, or like if it's a mechanic, you put like a car and tires. No, your name is going to be first and last in my phone unless you're
until you're dating, because now I have emojis. So that was the first week, and then the second week of course we had to go back to lab. So lab was once a week, Monday nights. And our relationship took off pretty quickly. Every day before class, we would get together and do the quiz questions, the like pre-lab quiz questions. And then I think like the third week, my sister came to pick me up from class because it was at 8 o'clock at night. And I was like, hey, do you want to come over for dinner? So at the time I was living with my sister, her best friend, and my nephew. So while she was in my house having dinner, my nephew obviously met her because he lived with me. My nephew, real quick guys, is like 22. He's like Madison's age. It's weird, I know. I have a half brother who's like in his 40s. Anyway, my nephew met her, and when Madison left that night, he goes, watch, within 6 months, Shelby's going to be dating Madison. And at this time, I was straight, and I don't think you had told us that you were gay yet.
I think I did at dinner, actually. By the time I made it to college, I was still kind of like struggling with becoming who I truly was, but enough to like around friends I was very comfortable with being like, I'm homosexual. So
maybe. My nephew called in and I was like, dude, no. Like, I was straight and I had a boyfriend, and I was so caught up in the drama around my breakup with this boyfriend. So that went on for about 8 months. I forgot a really important part of the story. So after, it was like maybe the 3rd week of school, I went in to do this interview for the student council for my college, and we had to do interviews. So I go sit by my advisor's office, and at this time Madison was a geology major. When we met in oceanography, I was environmental science and she was geology. So the day I went for this interview, the interview room was right outside my advisor's room. So I sit down by my advisor's office waiting for them to call me in for the interview. And she comes and sits down right next to me and doesn't notice who I am because I go to class looking pretty frumpy, but obviously for an interview I got dressed up. And she just sits down next to me like she doesn't even know who I am, and I was like, hi.
And I was like, oh, pretty. No, of course I didn't say that, especially since she had a boyfriend and was straight at the time. But I was like, oh, hey, hi. Good luck with your interview. I'm also here changing my major to environmental studies.
So when we first met, you left out this part the first day that we met. You asked me what my major was, and I told her environmental studies, and she was like, oh, I've been thinking about changing my major to that. So low-key, after getting to know me for 3 weeks, she was like, I better change my major to environmental science so that I can take more classes with this girl and
that is
get in on her.
Not what happened at all. But when Shelby tells this story, that's the way she's always gonna tell it. I was already going to switch to an environmental studies major, but having her in a lot of my classes was definitely a plus.
I think she doesn't want to admit it, but I think that's what happened. I think so. So that keeps going on for a few weeks. Like, we're doing our homework together before class all the time. She basically became my best friend, like, right off the bat, because I've told you guys I'm not good at connecting with people unless it's like one-on-one, unless it's like repeatedly. I don't know, that's just what I've noticed about myself. So obviously she was the person that I was seeing every week for extended periods of time, so she quickly became my best friend. And did you like me? I'm sure that's a question we're gonna get a lot before we do this. Did you like me?
I always thought that you were attractive, but that whole boundary with you have a boyfriend, you're straight, I was like, we're just gonna be friends for now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and as people are gonna ask me if I like Madison, I was very unaware of myself at the time and like what feelings really were and what they meant. But I'll tell you, like, every time we were gonna go hang out, like on the weekend or like after school or something, I would do my makeup, which I just told you guys, I don't do my makeup for class. But I would want to look cute for Madison, but it was very like, I didn't really know that. Like, I didn't really know. I noticed it later on in the game, right? But like, I kept doing it. Like, I would want to look really good if I was gonna go hang out with Madison. But it wasn't like a very conscious thing, if that makes sense.
I eventually broke up with my girlfriend, or she broke up with me rather, because things just weren't going well. And Shelby and I were just becoming better and better friends, and then
eventually my boyfriend and I broke up for good. And, well, I say for good. It was messy, guys. Anyway, we stopped talking officially. So then I guess a month, maybe 2 from there goes by, and I start noticing that I'm having feelings for Madison. So I told one person, I told my cousin that I think I like this girl. And she was like, well, you should probably act on it, because if you don't, you're never gonna know. And I was like, no, I think it'll go away. Like, it's probably just a phase, whatever, I won't do anything. So then one night we're in the computer lab and we were working on an assignment for one of the classes we were taking together. So from the time that we met, we tried to schedule as many classes together as we could. And this was our urban planning class. And we had to do something at the copier, and I could not get the copier or the scanner to scan for me and send it to my email. So I was like, can you please go do this for me? I asked her to do something for the printer with me, or I asked her, I think that's what happened. I asked you to go figure out the scanner for me, and she was like, I'm not gonna do that, you can do it yourself. Something to do with the freaking scanner, okay? And I was
Sounds
like,
right.
Yeah, I know it was a scanner, and it made me upset that she was telling me no. Basically, I started getting really upset. Like, I felt like if she liked me back, shouldn't she be doing this for me? And I got really emotional. Do you remember this? Are you remembering what I'm saying now? And I got really upset, and I was like, I'm gonna leave then. So I left outside, and you came outside to talk to me, and I was like, I can't talk about this. I can't talk to you right now. And you were like, what's wrong, Shelby? Like, tell me. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was late at night, and she was like, and I was like, dude, I can't fucking talk to you. Like, I'm gonna leave. So I left, and we were texting, and she's like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you gonna tell me?
Oh, yeah. So we're texting back and forth, and I'm texting her, like, are you okay? And she's just like, I don't know. I've been having these feelings, and
I was trying to get her to catch on, but she was not. She wasn't catching on.
Guys, I'm really bad at, like,
even to this day, she's
obvious.
good at catching my...
Good or bad?
Bad.
You said good.
She's bad.
So she was, like, hinting she was doing things, like, putting on her makeup, which I think she's beautiful without it, so I didn't notice that. She was like, oh, you're short, and I'm like, I've been the same height since we've been friends, so what? It's because she started judging me like, ooh, if I'm gonna date her, I'm gonna be with her, and she's gonna be short.
She's sitting on a medicine ball right now so she can be equal with me.
This is true. I was just like, we'll see each other tomorrow, like, let me know, because I was like, is it a thing? Like, is it a phase? Are we gonna be something? Are we gonna try things?
So I said, yeah, I told her, like, I think I like you. Somehow I told her, like, I think I have feelings for you. And she was like, do you want me to kiss you so we can, like, figure it out? And I was like, no, don't kiss me. I know the next day I skipped an event that I was supposed to go to hang out with her to try to figure it out. And then that night she spent the night at my house. Do you remember what happened then?
We cuddled. We hung out.
Madison, really, okay, I guess, I don't know how we would say it. I think Madison wanted to make sure that I wasn't faking her out, and she invested in me and, like, tried to start something with me if I didn't really like her, so Madison wanted to just jump right into it and make sure that, like, what I was going for was what I wanted.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah.
So that was a Thursday night, and then she basically, from the Wednesday night she came and stayed at my house, she never left my house again. Like, we've lived together ever since. And that was before we were even officially dating. So that was a Thursday night. Friday night was our best friends, like, this party thing that you do at our school. It's like a tradition. And basically, I never really got drunk when we were in college. I always was the DD.
So we decided to make Everclear Jello shots and drink Everclear and tequila basically all night.
Yeah, we made Everclear Jello shots. We also made a punch. We also bought vodka, and we went all out. Because I felt safe because we were at my friend's house. Like, I don't normally do that, but since I knew the person's house we were going to, they told us we could stay. I was like, fuck it. So we got really messed up that night, and basically that's how I came out to all of my friends, because all of my friends before this knew me as straight, and I was just screaming, I love Madison, I don't want to hide it anymore.
So basically a little liquid courage.
And all my friends were like, why the fuck didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell us before? It had only happened like a couple days before. Like, it wasn't like we were hiding it. And yeah, then like I said, she never went back home after that. We've lived together ever since. Well, except for when I moved to California. For a little bit. We've basically lived together ever since. That was, almost 3 years ago now. One of our friends talked her into asking me to be her girlfriend. And
yeah, he was like, so, what do you think about this one? I was like, just wait. And eventually I did ask, and of course she said yes, because I'm so charming. Oh, maybe not.
I didn't say you're not.
Your head jerked up pretty quick though.
Oh, it's fine.
Not charming.
So I guess the rest is history. We graduated college and moved, I guess first place that we officially signed a lease together, because we were living together, but we're never on the lease together. If you guys didn't watch my Q&A, yes, we plan to get married. We're not sure about kids at this point, and I hope that clarifies everything. So I guess that's it for this week, guys. Let me know if you have any other questions down below. I'll try to get Madison to keep making videos with us, but again, this is my channel, it's not hers, and she is a lot more busy than I am with work and stuff like that. So if you guys like this video, just make sure you like it. That's how I talk her into doing these videos with her.
This is true.
Because when she sees that you guys really want her to be here, then it's easier to talk her into doing it. That's it for this week, you guys. We'll see you later, and remember, until next time, create the peace. you doing?
My leg's asleep.